Good evening, dear listeners. Welcome to this journey into the heart of a profound and liberating idea, one that invites you to pause, breathe, and reflect on the very nature of existence. Settle into this moment, find a comfortable position, let your shoulders soften, your breath deepen. Inhale slowly through your nose, hold it gently, and exhale through your mouth, releasing the weight of the day. Good. Tonight, we're exploring the meaning of life without absolute truth, guided by the wisdom of Albert Camus, a philosopher who gazed into the silence of the universe and found not despair, but possibility. Picture it now, a vast, quiet universe unfolding before you. Stars twinkle softly, like distant lanterns in an endless sea of night. There's no rush here, no clamor of expectations, just stillness. A profound, enveloping silence. Breathe in that vastness and out. This is where we begin with what Camus called the absurd. It's a quiet confrontation, a gentle tension between your human heart yearning for meaning, purpose, a clear answer to why you're here, and the universe's silent reply. It doesn't offer a grand narrative or a cosmic instruction manual. It simply exists, unmoved, unyielding in its mystery. Let's linger in this stillness for a moment. Take another deep breath slowly in, filling your chest with calm, slowly out, letting go of any need to grasp or control. Because here's the gift Camus offers us. This silence, this lack of universal truth, isn't something to fear. It's not a void that swallows hope. No, dear listener, it's liberating. It's an open door to freedom. Without a divine script dictating your every step, you're unbound. You're free to paint your own canvas, to write your own story. Feel that freedom settle over you like a soft blanket as your body relaxes deeper into this space. To understand the absurd more deeply, let's drift back gently, like leaves falling on a quiet autumn evening. Albert Camus, born in 1913 in French Algeria, lived a life shaped by the harsh realities of war, poverty, and personal loss. These experiences honed his perspective, giving him a unique lens on existence. He wasn't a pessimist, preaching hopelessness, nor a cynic dismissing life's value. In his essay, The Myth of Sisyphus, he confronts a fundamental question. What do we do when we realize the world doesn't provide the meaning we crave? When our questions about purpose, why am I here, what is the point, echo back unanswered? The absurd, Camus says, is born in that divorce, that mismatch between our rational minds seeking order and clarity and the irrational, silent universe that offers none. Visualize this now. You're standing on a cliffside at twilight, the horizon ablaze with shades of orange, pink, and deepening blue. The wind brushes your skin, cool and fleeting. Below, the ocean churns, waves crashing against ancient rocks in a rhythm that's both eternal and indifferent. Those waves don't crash for you, or for anyone, they simply are. That's the absurd. Your mind searches for a reason, a deeper truth behind the motion, but the sea remains silent. Camus writes, "The absurd is born of this confrontation between the human need and the unreasonable silence of the world." Feel that tension for a moment, but don't let it tighten your chest. Breathe through it slowly in, slowly out. Let it become a gentle wave, washing over you without pulling you under. Why does this matter to you, here, in this quiet moment? Because we live in a world that bombards us with promises of absolute truth. Religions offer eternal answers. Ideologies swear by their doctrines. Even science sometimes hints at ultimate explanations. Yet, when those answers don't fully satisfy, when they leave gaps or doubts, we can feel lost, unmoored. Camus invites us to stop chasing these shadows. The universe's silence isn't a rejection. It's neutrality. It's saying, I am here, but the meaning? That's yours to create. And in that creation lies peace, No more frantic searching for a hidden key that doesn't exist. Just acceptance, soft and soothing, like the warmth of a fire on a cold night. Let's deepen this image. Close your eyes, if they're not already, and imagine yourself floating in space. Weightless, untethered, surrounded by billions of stars, each a distant fire burning without purpose or agenda. No deity directs their paths. No fate weaves their light into a message for humanity. Just existence, pure and unadorned. As you float, notice how your body feels lighter. The worries of your day work, relationships, uncertainties begin to drift away like asteroids into the void. This is the liberation Camus speaks of. Without absolute truth, there's no failure to live up to some cosmic standard. You're not judged by an invisible arbiter. You're free to simply be. But freedom can feel daunting, can't it? Like stepping into an empty room, bare of furniture or guidelines. Camus acknowledges this in his writings. In The Stranger, his protagonist Morsel lives in a world stripped of imposed meanings, feeling the heat of the sun more vividly than societal expectations. This detachment can evoke a sense of alienation, what Camus calls the nausea of the absurd. Yet, even in that, there's a strange calm. No pretense, no masks, just raw authenticity. Let's breathe into that now. Inhale for 4 counts. Hold for 4. Exhale for 4. Let that authenticity settle over you. You're not here to perform for the universe. It's silent, remember? So you can rest in your own truth, whatever it is tonight. Camus didn't arrive at the absurd in a vacuum. His ideas were shaped by thinkers like Nietzsche, who declared the death of God, and Kierkegaard, who embraced faith despite the void. But Camus charted his own path. He rejected both nihilism, which denies all meaning, and what he called philosophical suicide, leaping into belief systems to escape the absurd. Instead, he proposed revolt, not a violent uprising, but a quiet, persistent defiance, living fully, passionately, in full awareness of the absurd. In the Myth of Sisyphus, he imagined Sisyphus condemned to roll a boulder up a hill only for it to fall back down, finding contentment in the act itself. One must imagine Sisyphus happy, Camus writes. Breathe that in Sisyphus, happy in his rebellion. In, out. Let it inspire you to carry your own burdens lightly. How does this apply to you? Think of your own boulders, the repetitive grind of daily routines, the unanswered questions about purpose. Why the job? Why the struggles? The absurd whispers. There is no why etched in stone. But in pushing forward in your efforts, your small rebellions, you claim ownership. Feel your shoulders relax now, imagining that weight not as a burden, but as a choice. Inhale, exhale. This perspective shifts everything. Without absolute truth, life isn't a test you can fail. It's an experience you inhabit, moment by moment. Let's explore the emotional side of the absurd. It can stir a mix of feelings, wonder at the universe's vastness, melancholy at its silence, exhilaration at the freedom it grants. Camus, with his Mediterranean roots, often evoked the sunlit landscapes of Algeria to counterbalance the void. Picture it now, golden sunlight filtering through olive trees, the scent of salt from the sea, the warmth on your skin. Even in silence, there's beauty sensory, immediate beauty that doesn't need explanation. As you breathe deeply, let that sunlight warm your imagined skin. This is how the absurd becomes soothing. It pulls you from abstract anxieties into the tangible now. Some misread Camus as pessimistic, but that's a shallow take. His absurdism is deeply humanistic, even optimistic. Without gods or absolutes, meaning blooms from our choices, our connections, our creations. In The Rebel, he extends this to ethics. We revolt not just for ourselves, but for others, affirming human dignity in an indifferent cosmos. Tonight, though, let's keep it personal. Let this idea cradle you. The universe's silence is permission to whisper your own truths. Inhale that permission. Exhale any doubt. To ground this further, think of a child asking, "Why?" endlessly, chasing the root of everything. Adults often offer pat answers, but Camus says, there is no root. The chain of whys ends in silence. Yet the child plays on, finding joy in the asking. We can too. Breathe into that childlike wonder, innocent, unburdened, in, out. Camus' philosophy intersects with existentialism, though he resisted the label. Jean-Paul Sartre, his contemporary, argued existence precedes essence. We exist first, then define ourselves. Camus agrees, but adds the absurd's flavor. That definition happens against a backdrop of meaninglessness. No preordained essence awaits discovery. This relieves pressure. No soulmate destined by stars. No career path written in fate. Just choices, yours to make. Feel that relief wash over you, like cool water on a hot day. Let's try a mini meditation to embody this. Adjust your position if needed. Let your limbs grow heavy. Visualize the absurd as a vast, empty stage. You're the actor, director, playwright. No script from above. What lines do you speak? What props do you choose? There are no wrong answers, only your performance. As the curtain rises in your mind, notice the freedom. No critics in the audience, just the echo of your voice. Breathe, in freedom, out constraint. Camus lived this philosophy. As a resistance fighter in World War II, he edited underground newspapers, risking his life not for glory, but for human solidarity. Even in absurdity, he found purpose in action. You can too, in small ways. A kind word, a pursued passion, these defy the silence. Inhale that possibility, exhale resistance. Let's slow down further, as this is a journey for relaxation. Count your breaths. 1, in, out. 2, in, out. Up to 10, then repeat if you wish. As you do, reflect. How has the search for absolute truth weighed on you? Religions promise certainty, but what if that certainty is illusion? Camus calls it philosophical suicide, leaping into belief to evade the absurd. Instead, stay lucid, awake to the silence, and find peace there. In The Plague, Camus depicts a town facing senseless suffering, mirroring the absurd. Characters respond with quiet heroism, doctoring the sick, loving amid chaos. Meaning emerges from defiance. As you listen, let any personal plagues, worries, doubts be met with similar grace. Breathe them in, acknowledge. Breathe out, release. Philosophically, the absurd challenges traditional metaphysics. No Platonic forms, no Aristotelian purpose, just phenomena, raw and uninterpreted. Camus draws from phenomenology, focusing on lived experience. Feel your lived experience now. The rise of your chest, the hum of ambient sounds. That's real. That's enough. Some critique Camus for overlooking spirituality, but he didn't dismiss it outright. He rejected dogmas that deny the absurd. If mysticism resonates with you, weave it gently into your meaning-making. No judgment here, just rest. As we near the end of this chapter, pause for a longer breath. In for 5. Hold. Out for 5. Good. Envision the absurd as a companion, not an enemy. It walks beside you, silent but steady, reminding you, life is yours. Camus' influence persists in modern thought, from existential psychotherapy to literature. His call to live authentically inspires us to build meaning from within. What small freedom will you claim tonight? Inhale that question. Exhale with ease. A quote to carry us forward. The only way to deal with an unfree world is to become so absolutely free that your very existence is an act of rebellion. That's Camus. Feel that rebellion as quiet power, not strife. In your breath, rebel against anxiety. Visually, imagine a desert at night. Camus' Algerian inspiration. Stars above, sand below, silence profound. Yet life stirs. A scorpion scuttles, wind whispers. Meaning emerges if you assign it. Psychologically, embracing the absurd eases existential dread. Research in terror management theory shows we buffer death anxiety with cultural worldviews. Camus says, face it directly, find freedom. In art, absurdism inspires works like Beckett's Waiting for Godot. Characters wait for meaning that never arrives, yet persist. Smile at the wait, as Camus might. For you, persistence means resting now. Let the absurd lull you, not agitate. Breathe, in acceptance, out resistance. As we close this chapter, know that the absurd is just the beginning. From here, we'll build freedom, creativity, connections. But for now, rest in this truth. The universe is silent, but your heart beats on. That's enough. Let's settle into this moment, just you and me, surrounded by the quiet of a forest at twilight. The air is cool, scented with pine, and the last light filters through the trees. Take a slow breath in, hold it softly, and exhale, letting the day's weight slip away like leaves drifting to the ground. We're diving into Albert Camus' rejection of divine purpose, a bold idea that invites us to let go of cosmic answers and embrace the freedom of living authentically, right here, right now. Camus saw the search for divine or metaphysical truth, those grand promises of eternal meaning, or a cosmic plan as a way of dodging the absurd, that tension we've talked about between our longing for purpose and the universe's silence. Picture it. You're standing in this forest, the sky deepening to indigo, stars just beginning to peek through. There's no voice from above dictating your path. No celestial script telling you why the trees stand or why you're here. That's what Camus means when he rejects divine purpose. Religions might offer stories of a higher power orchestrating life. Philosophies might propose ultimate truths like Plato's forms or Hegel's absolute spirit, but Camus says these are escapes. They're attempts to pretend the universe speaks when it's beautifully, profoundly silent. Breathe that in and out. Feel the lightness of letting go of that need for a grand narrative. Why does this matter to you as you rest in this quiet moment? Because so many of us carry the burden of seeking ultimate answers. Maybe you've lain awake, wondering if your struggles or joys fit into some divine plan. That search can feel like chasing a shadow, always out of reach, leaving you restless. Camus invites you to stop chasing. The universe doesn't owe you a blueprint, and that's not loss, it's freedom. It means you can focus on the present, on the textures of life right now. Let your shoulders soften as you imagine that freedom, like a gentle breeze moving through the trees around you. Let's deepen this. Close your eyes, if you can, and picture yourself in an open field under a vast twilight sky. The grass is cool beneath your feet, the air soft on your skin. No cosmic judge weighs your choices. No divine voice sets your course. Camus writes in the Myth of Sisyphus, "If I were a tree among trees, this life would have a meaning. Or rather, this problem would not arise, for I would be part of this world. But we're not trees, are we? We're human, aware of our questions, our longing for meaning. And in that awareness, Camus says, we choose to live fully, without needing a celestial script. Breathe for a moment. Inhale for 4 counts. Hold for 4. Exhale for 4. Let that choice settle over you, calming and grounding. This rejection isn't about denying meaning altogether. Camus isn't a nihilist, saying nothing matters. Instead, he's clearing the way for you to create your own purpose. Think of it like an artist facing a blank canvas. Without a divine plan dictating every stroke, you get to decide the colors, the shapes, the story. That can feel overwhelming, but let's make it soothing. Inhale and exhale. Each breath is a brushstroke, a small, deliberate act of meaning in this moment. You don't need a God or a universal law to validate it. It's yours, and that's enough. Camus' life shaped this perspective. He grew up in poverty in French Algeria, surrounded by the rawness of existence, disease, loss, the struggle to survive. During World War II, he joined the French resistance, editing the underground newspaper Combat, risking everything not for divine reward, but for human dignity in the face of suffering. His rejection of divine purpose wasn't abstract philosophy. It was deeply human, rooted in a love for life's immediacy. Picture him now, a young man at a desk, scribbling under flickering lamplight, choosing action over despair. Let that image ground you. Your choices, however small a kind word, a moment of presence carry that same weight. Inhale that possibility, exhale any doubt. Let's explore further. Many traditions teach that meaning comes from aligning with something bigger, a divine plan, a cosmic order. Christianity might point to God's will, Buddhism to karma's cycle, secular philosophies to reason or progress. Camus respects the impulse behind these beliefs, but challenges their foundation. He calls them leaps, attempts to bridge the absurd's gap with comforting stories. In The Rebel, he describes this as metaphysical rebellion, a refusal to accept the universe's silence by inventing answers. But those answers, he argues, ask us to close our eyes to reality. Instead, Camus urges us to stay lucid, to live with the absurd, to find peace in its truth. Breathe that clarity in now. Exhale any pressure to conform to a grand narrative. This perspective can feel radical. Without divine purpose, where do we anchor ourselves? Camus' answer is simple yet profound. In the present, in the sensations of life, the warmth of a friend's laughter, the scent of rain, the weight of a book in your hands. These don't need divine sanction to matter. They're real, tangible, yours. Let's try a visualization. Imagine you're by a quiet stream, water gurgling over smooth stones. Feel the cool air, the rough ground beneath you. This moment is enough. You don't need a cosmic explanation to justify its beauty. Inhale that sufficiency. Exhale any lingering need for more. You might wonder, doesn't this leave us adrift? Camus would say no. In The Stranger, his character Meursault lives without grand narratives, feeling the world's sensations, sun, sea, love more vividly than societal or religious expectations. Some call Meursault detached, but there's freedom in his authenticity. He acts for himself, not for divine approval. This isn't selfishness, it's honesty. As you rest, let that honesty soothe you. You don't need to perform for a higher power. Your life, your choices are enough. Breathe in that permission. Out goes the weight of external judgment. Camus' ideas connect to existentialism, though he resisted the label. Sartre, his contemporary, said we're condemned to be free, forced to create meaning in a world without inherent purpose. Camus agrees, but adds the absurd's nuance. We create not in despair, but in joyful defiance. This defiance is quiet, like the steady rhythm of your breath right now. In for 5. I hold out for 5. Each breath is a small rebellion against the need for absolute answers. Let's ground this in your life. Think of a time you felt pressure to fit a prescribed role, a career, a family expectation, a religious doctrine. That pressure can tighten your chest like a knot. Camus invites you to untie it. Without a divine plan, those expectations lose their ultimate authority. You're free to choose what aligns with your authentic self. Picture that knot loosening now, your breath flowing easier. In, out. This is living authentically in the present, as Camus urges. In the context of his time, Camus' rejection of divine purpose was a response to a world shaken by war. The horrors of World War II, the Holocaust, the atom bomb, they challenged beliefs in a benevolent cosmic order. Writing in this shadow, Camus offered a path forward, not by clinging to old dogmas, but by embracing life's immediacy. In Letters to a German Friend, he urges action for human solidarity, not abstract ideals. As you relax, let this inspire you. Your small acts, kindness, creativity, presence, are rebellions against meaninglessness. Philosophically, Camus challenges traditional metaphysics. Thinkers like Aquinas saw the universe as purposeful, guided by divine reason. Camus, influenced by Nietzsche's God is Dead, rejects this, aligning with phenomenology's focus on lived experience. What does this mean for you? The sensation of your breath, the quiet of this moment, is more real than any cosmic blueprint. Feel that now. Inhale the cool air, exhale tension. Some might say Camus dismisses spirituality too quickly. He doesn't reject personal belief outright, only its claim to universal truth. If prayer or meditation brings you peace, that's valid as long as it's yours, not imposed. Let this ease you. Your spiritual path, if you have one, is yours to shape. Breathe in that freedom, out goes conformity. Let's try a meditation. Adjust your position, let your limbs grow heavy. Imagine a vast cathedral, not of stone, but of stars. No altar, no dogma, just infinite space. You stand at its center, not as a supplicant, but as a creator. What meaning do you bring? A memory, a hope, a joy? Hold it gently, like a glowing ember. This is your purpose for now. Inhale, exhale. Camus lived this. In Nuptials, he writes of swimming in the Mediterranean, feeling life's pulse in the water's embrace. Picture yourself swimming now, the water cool and enveloping. Each stroke is a choice, a moment of meaning you create. No gods required. Psychologically, letting go of divine purpose can ease anxiety. Existential psychology shows that rigid beliefs in cosmic order can fuel stress when life feels chaotic. Camus' approach, living authentically, now reduces that tension. Feel it. Your breath is steady, your mind quieter. In, out. In The Plague, Camus' characters face senseless suffering, yet find meaning in human effort, caring, resisting, loving. Your struggles, however small, can hold similar meaning. Acknowledge them gently as you breathe. As we near the end, pause for a longer breath. In for 6. Hold. Out for 6. Rejecting divine purpose isn't loss, it's gain. It's freedom to live now, without waiting for cosmic approval. Camus' influence endures in existential therapy and art. His call to authenticity inspires us to live true to ourselves. What small truth will you honor tonight? Inhale that question, exhale with peace. A quote to carry forward: man is the only creature who refuses to be what he island. Be what you are without needing divine sanction. Feel that settle like soft dusk. Return to the forest. The trees stand tall, rooted, yet free in their swaying. Like them, you can be rooted in this moment, free to move as you choose. For you, rejecting divine purpose means resting now. Let go of ultimate answers. The present is enough. Breathe. In presence, out expectation. This chapter closes, but our journey continues. From here, we'll explore the freedom this rejection unlocks. For now, rest in this truth. You are enough. We're exploring Albert Camus' idea of freedom in a meaningless universe, a universe that offers no absolute truth, no cosmic blueprint, but instead a wide-open space for you to define your own purpose. This, Camus says, isn't paralyzing, it's empowering. It's a radical freedom to shape your life. And tonight, we'll let that idea wrap around you like a warm breeze, soothing and grounding. Imagine this hilltop stretching out before you, the horizon endless, the sky a canvas of fading light. No divine script dictates your steps here. No universal law tells you what to feel or do. Camus believed that the absence of absolute truth, the silence of the universe we've been talking about, grants you this freedom. It's radical because it places the power in your hands. You're not bound by a predetermined destiny, not judged by a cosmic arbiter. You're free to decide what matters, what gives your life color and meaning. Breathe that in now. In for 4 counts. Hold for 4. Out for 4. Feel the weight lift, like a burden you didn't know you were carrying. This freedom is at the heart of Camus' philosophy. In the Myth of Sisyphus, he writes that recognizing the absurd, the mismatch between our desire for meaning and the universe's indifference doesn't lead to despair. Instead, it opens a door. Without a fixed purpose imposed from above, you become the author of your own story. Picture it, your life as a book, pages blank and waiting, your hand holding the pen. What do you write? A small joy, a quiet passion, a moment of connection? Let that image settle as your body relaxes deeper, your shoulders softening, your breath slowing. Why does this matter to you, here, as you listen in the calm of this moment? Because so often, we feel trapped by expectations, societies, families, even our own internalized beliefs about what life should be. Maybe you felt the pressure to follow a certain path, to achieve a specific goal, as if there's a right way to live. Camus says there isn't. The universe's silence means no one path is sacred, no single purpose absolute. You're free to choose what sparks joy, what feels true to you. Inhale that possibility. Exhale any need to conform. What small thing brings you joy? Hold it in your mind, a memory, a hobby, a fleeting moment, and let it anchor you. Let's deepen this visualization. Close your eyes, if they're not already, and imagine yourself walking across this hill, the grass soft underfoot, the wind whispering past. You carry no map, no guidebook from the stars. Yet every step you take is yours, chosen not because it's fated, but because it feels right in this moment. Camus saw this freedom as empowering because it strips away the fear of failing some cosmic test. There's no test. There's just you moving forward, creating meaning with each choice. Breathe that in, out. Feel the ground beneath you, steady and real, supporting your freedom. Camus' life embodied this. Growing up in the harsh realities of colonial Algeria, he knew struggle, poverty, illness, loss. Yet he found joy in simple acts. Swimming in the Mediterranean, writing stories, loving fiercely. During World War II, as a resistance fighter, he chose to act not for divine approval, but for human dignity. His freedom came from rejecting the idea that his actions needed cosmic validation. Picture him now, a man under a starry sky choosing to fight, to write, to live because those choices mattered to him. Let that inspire you. Your choices, however small, are just as powerful. Inhale that strength. Exhale any doubt. This freedom can feel both exhilarating and daunting. Without absolute truth, there's no safety net of certainty, no guarantee you're doing it right. Camus acknowledges this in The Stranger, where Meursault lives unburdened by societal or divine expectations, feeling the world's sensations sun, sea, love more vividly than any prescribed purpose. Some see Meursault as cold, but there's a quiet liberation in his choices. He acts for himself, not for a higher power. As you rest, let that liberation soothe you. You don't need to prove yourself to the universe. Your life is yours. Breathe in that truth. Out goes the weight of judgment. Let's explore this further. Philosophers before Camus, like Sartre, also spoke of freedom in a world without inherent meaning. Sartre's existence precedes essence. means we exist first, then define ourselves through our actions. Camus agrees but adds the absurd twist. Our actions don't need to align with some universal truth. They're meaningful because we choose them. This is what makes his freedom radical. It's not just freedom from divine purpose, but freedom to create purpose in defiance of the absurd. Picture that defiance as a soft glow in your chest, growing with each breath. In for 5. Hold. Out for 5. It's not loud or aggressive, it's quiet, like the steady pulse of your heart. How does this look in your life? Think of a moment when you felt free to choose something purely for yourself. A walk in nature, a song you played on repeat, a conversation that lit you up. That choice, however small, was an act of freedom, a rebellion against the idea that meaning must come from outside. Let's make this concrete. Imagine you're holding a small object, a stone, a book, a keepsake. It's meaningful not because the universe says so, but because you've given it meaning. Maybe it reminds you of a person, a place, a moment. Hold that object in your mind now. Feel its weight, its texture. This is your freedom, tangible and real. Inhale, exhale. Camus' philosophy here challenges traditional views of purpose. Thinkers like Aquinas or Leibniz saw freedom as aligning with a divine plan, where our choices matter because they fit a cosmic order. Camus, influenced by Nietzsche's rejection of such orders, flips this. Freedom, for him, is the absence of that order, the space it leaves for you to act. In The Rebel, he writes, "Freedom is not a reward or a decoration. It is not a gift given, but a choice made." Breathe that in. Your choices, reading a book, helping a friend, savoring a quiet moment, are acts of freedom, meaningful because you say they are. This perspective resonated in Camus' post-war world, where old certainties crumbled under the weight of war and suffering. People questioned divine plans when faced with the Holocaust or Hiroshima. Camus offered a way forward, freedom to create meaning despite the chaos. His work in Combat, the Resistance newspaper, was a choice made not for eternal reward, but for the present, for human lives, here and now. As you relax, let this ground you. Your choices, however small, are your rebellion against a silent universe. Let's try a meditation to embody this freedom. Adjust your position, let your limbs grow heavy. Imagine you're standing on this hill, the sky now dark, stars blazing above. You're not bound by fate or divine decree. You're free to move, to choose. Picture a path stretching before you, not a fixed road, but one you carve with each step. Where do you go? Toward a joy, a passion, a quiet moment of peace? Take one step in your mind. Feel the grass give softly underfoot. This is your freedom. Inhale, exhale. Each step is yours to take. Some might argue this freedom is overwhelming, even isolating. Without a cosmic guide, how do we know what to choose? Camus would say that's the point. The uncertainty is part of the freedom. In The Plague, characters face a senseless epidemic, yet find meaning in their choices, doctoring the sick, supporting each other. Your own choices, even in uncertainty, create meaning. Think of a time you acted without knowing the right answer, a kind gesture, a creative project. That was your freedom in action. Breathe in that memory. Out goes any fear of choosing wrong. Psychologically, this freedom can ease the mind. Studies in existential psychology show that embracing choice reduces anxiety tied to rigid expectations. When you accept that there's no correct path, you're free to live authentically. Feel that now. Your breath is steady, your mind quieter. In, out. You're not failing some cosmic test, you're living. Philosophically, Camus' freedom aligns with phenomenology, focusing on lived experience over abstract systems. The sensation of the wind on this hill, the sound of your breath, these are real, more real than any divine plan. Inhale that reality. Exhale any need for certainty. Camus' life modeled this freedom. In Nuptials, he writes of diving into the Mediterranean, feeling alive in the water's embrace, not because it was fated, but because he chose to savor it. Picture yourself diving into cool water now, the world falling away as you move. Each stroke is a choice, a moment of meaning you create. No cosmic validation needed. Some critique Camus for making freedom seem solitary, but he wasn't advocating isolation. His freedom includes others, friends, lovers, communities. In The Rebel, he argues that true freedom respects the freedom of others, creating shared meaning. Your choices ripple outward, touching lives. Think of someone you care for, a smile you shared, a moment of connection. That's your freedom too. Inhale that warmth, exhale any loneliness. Let's ground this in another visualization. Imagine you're painting on that blank canvas we mentioned earlier. No one tells you what to paint, no gods, no rules. You choose a color, maybe blue for calm, red for passion. Each stroke is a choice, a declaration of meaning. Feel the brush in your hand, the canvas yielding to your touch. This is your life, your freedom. Breathe in that creativity. Out goes any pressure to conform. In art, Camus' freedom inspires works like Beckett's Waiting for Godot, where characters choose to persist despite the absence of divine answers. Their waiting is an act of freedom, just as your listening now is a choice to engage with these ideas. Smile at that choice, as Camus might. As we near the end, pause for a longer breath. In for 6, hold, out for 6. This freedom isn't a burden, it's a gift. It's the power to choose what matters, to live fully in this moment. Camus' influence lives on in existential therapy, where clients are encouraged to embrace their freedom to create meaning. What small choice will you make tonight? Inhale that question. Exhale with ease. A quote to carry forward. The only way to deal with an unfree world is to become so absolutely free that your very existence is an act of rebellion. That's Camus. Feel that rebellion as quiet power, not strife. In your breath, choose freedom. Return to the hilltop. The stars shine brighter now, the wind steady. You're free to stand, to move, to be. Like the grass beneath you, you're rooted in this moment, yet unbound. For you, this freedom means resting now. Let go of the need for cosmic answers. Your choices are enough. Breathe in freedom, out expectation. Let's settle into this moment, surrounded by the quiet hum of creativity. Picture a canvas before you, blank and waiting, bathed in warm sunlight. Take a deep breath in, hold it gently, and exhale, letting any tension slip away like paint spreading across the surface. We're diving into Albert Camus' belief that crafting purpose through creativity is a powerful way to forge meaning in a universe without absolute truth. It's a rebellion against the absurd, that silence we've been exploring, and it's a rebellion that feels alive, vibrant, grounding. As you relax, let this idea wrap around you, soothing and inspiring. Creativity, for Camus, is a way to defy the universe's indifference. Without a cosmic script telling us why we're here, we can create our own reasons through art, writing, music, or even the small, everyday acts that shape our days. Think of a moment you created something, a story scribbled in a notebook, a meal cooked with care, a garden tended with love. That act, no matter how small, is your defiance. Your way of saying, I am here and this matters. Breathe that in now. In for 4 counts. Hold for 4. Out for 4. Feel the glow of that moment, like a spark lighting up the quiet. Camus saw creativity as a cornerstone of living fully in the absurd. In the Myth of Sisyphus, he argues that creating is an act of revolt, a way to assert your existence against a universe that offers no answers. Picture it, The universe is silent, but you pick up a brush, a pen, a spatula, and you make something. That act doesn't need divine approval, it's meaningful because you chose it. Imagine yourself now in that sunlit studio, dipping a brush into vibrant paint blue, red, gold, whatever calls to you. Each stroke is a choice, a declaration of purpose. Let your shoulders soften as you visualize this, your breath slowing, your mind easing into the flow of creation. Why does this matter to you as you rest in this calm moment? Because creativity grounds us. It pulls us out of restless thoughts, those late-night spirals about purpose or meaning, and into the present. Maybe you felt stuck, wondering what your life is for. Camus says, create something, anything, and you're already answering that question. It could be a poem, a doodle, a playlist, even a conversation crafted with care. These acts are your rebellion, your way of carving meaning from the void. Inhale that possibility. Exhale any doubt. What's one small thing you've created that brought you joy? Hold that memory. Let it warm you like sunlight. Let's deepen this image. Close your eyes, if you can, and picture yourself at a workbench, surrounded by tools of creation: paints, clay, words, ingredients. You're shaping something, and it's yours alone. No one judges it. No cosmic rulebook grades it. Camus, who poured his own heart into novels, essays, and plays, knew this intimately. His writing wasn't about pleasing a deity or decoding the universe. It was about expressing his truth, his defiance. In Nuptials, he describes the joy of creation in simple moments, like feeling the Mediterranean sun or crafting a story. Picture that now. Camus at a desk, pen scratching paper, or you shaping your own creation. Feel the freedom in that act, the way it anchors you. Breathe in, out. This creativity doesn't have to be grand. Camus' philosophy is grounded in the human, the everyday. Maybe you baked bread, its crust golden and warm. Maybe you arranged flowers in a vase, their colors singing. These are acts of creation, as valid as a symphony or a novel. They're your rebellion against the absurd, your way of saying, this moment matters because I made it so. Let's try a visualization. Imagine you're cooking a meal, stirring a pot, the aroma rising. Each ingredient you add: herbs, spices, love is a choice, a piece of meaning. Feel the spoon in your hand, the warmth of the stove. This is your purpose right now. Inhale that warmth. Exhale any pressure to create something big. Camus' life was a testament to this. He wrote, yes, but he also lived creatively, finding meaning in friendships, in the sea's rhythm, in resistance against tyranny. During his work with the French resistance, he crafted words for combat, not for fame, but to affirm life's value in the face of chaos. Your own creations, however small, carry that same power. Think of a time you made something: a photo, a letter, a moment of beauty. That was your defiance, your purpose. Breathe in that memory. Out goes any sense of inadequacy. Philosophically, this ties to Camus' broader revolt against the absurd. Creating is an act of freedom, a way to exercise the radical autonomy we explored earlier. Without absolute truth, you're not bound to create what others expect. You create for you. In The Rebel, Camus writes, art disputes reality, but does not hide from it. Your creations, whether a sketch or a kind gesture, engage with the world's silence and make it sing. Feel that now. Your breath is steady, your mind lighter. Some might say creativity feels frivolous in a meaningless universe. Camus would disagree. He saw it as essential, a way to live fully in the present. In The Plague, characters create meaning through small acts: writing letters, tending to the sick despite senseless suffering. Your own acts of creation, however modest, are just as profound. Think of a time you made someone smile, a joke, a gift, a shared moment. That was creation too, Inhale that joy, exhale any self-doubt. Psychologically, creativity soothes. Research shows that engaging in creative acts, writing, drawing, cooking, reduces stress and anchors us in the moment. Camus knew this intuitively. His stories, like The Stranger, show characters finding meaning in sensory acts, not cosmic truths. Picture Mursault, feeling the sun's warmth more vividly than societal rules. Your creations do the same, they ground you in the now. Breathe in that grounding. Out goes restless overthinking. Let's try a meditation. Adjust your position, let your limbs relax. Imagine you're sculpting clay, your hands shaping something soft and pliable. It doesn't need to be perfect, it just needs to be yours. Feel the clay yield, the rhythm of your breath matching your movements. This is your rebellion, your meaning. Inhale, exhale. What will you create tomorrow? A note, a meal, a moment of kindness? Let that thought settle, soothing you. Camus' creativity wasn't limited to art. He saw life itself as a creative act, choosing how to live, how to love, how to resist. In Nuptials, he celebrates crafting moments of joy, like swimming in the sea. Picture yourself swimming now, water cool and enveloping. Each stroke a creative choice. No divine approval needed, just you, creating meaning. Some critique Camus for focusing too much on individual acts, but his creativity often connected to others. A story shared, a meal offered, these build community, shared meaning. Think of a time you created something for someone else. A gift, a memory. That's your purpose, glowing softly. Inhale that connection. Out goes isolation. As we close, pause for a longer breath. In for 5. Hold. Out for 5. Creativity is your rebellion, your way to craft purpose in a silent universe. What small act will you choose tonight? Breathe in that question. Exhale with peace. Return to the studio. The canvas glows with your colors, your choices. You're the artist, free and alive. For you, creativity means resting now. Your creations, big or small, are enough. Breathe in purpose, out doubt. Picture yourself in a warm, quiet space, surrounded by the gentle glow of connection. Take a deep breath in, hold it softly, and exhale, letting any tension melt away like wax in a candle's flame. We're diving into Albert Camus's belief that meaning can be found in relationships, friendship, love, community, even in a universe without absolute truth. In this indifferent cosmos, the bonds we forge with others become our anchors, our personal truths. As you relax, let this idea wrap around you like a warm embrace, soothing and grounding. Camus saw human connections as a powerful way to create purpose in the face of the absurd, that silence of the universe we've been exploring. Without a cosmic plan, it's the people in our lives, their smiles, their voices, their shared moments that give us reason to keep going. Think of someone you care for. Picture their face, the way their eyes light up when they laugh, the sound of their voice calling your name. That connection, however small, is your truth tonight. Breathe that in now. In for 4 counts. Hold for 4. Out for 4. Feel the warmth of that bond, like a fire warming your heart. In Camus' philosophy, relationships are a form of rebellion against the absurd. The universe may be indifferent, but we're not. We choose to care, to love, to show up for each other. In The Plague, his characters face a senseless epidemic, yet they find meaning in supporting one another, sharing burdens, offering comfort, standing together. It's not about eternal rewards, it's about the here and now, the human warmth that defies the cold silence of the cosmos. Imagine that now. A moment when someone was there for you, a friend's hug, a partner's quiet presence, a stranger's kindness. Let that memory settle, your body softening, your breath slowing. Why does this matter to you as you rest in this calm moment? Because relationships ground us. When the big questions, why are we here? What's the point? Keep us awake. It's the people in our lives who remind us we're not alone. Camus didn't believe we needed divine sanction to make these bonds meaningful. A shared laugh, a late-night talk, a hand held in silence, these are enough. They're your defiance against the absurd, your way of saying, this matters because I choose it. Inhale that thought. Exhale any loneliness. Who's someone who makes your world brighter? Hold their image in your mind. Let it soothe you. Let's deepen this. Close your eyes, if you can, and picture yourself sitting across from someone you love. Maybe it's a friend, a family member, a partner. The room is soft with light, the air filled with the quiet comfort of their presence. You don't need to solve the universe's mysteries to feel this connection. Camus, in his essays like Nuptials, celebrates these human moments. Friendships forged over simple joys, love deepened by shared glances. This is your purpose, woven through the threads of your relationships. Breathe in, out. Feel the strength of those threads, holding you steady. Camus' life was rich with connections. He wrote of friends who shared his resistance work during World War II, of lovers who brought light to his days, of communities that stood together against oppression. His work with Combat, the underground newspaper, wasn't just about fighting tyranny, it was about building solidarity, human to human. Picture him now, surrounded by comrades, sharing stories under a starry sky, finding meaning in their bond. Your own connections, however small, carry that same power. Think of a time someone made you feel seen, a conversation, a gesture. That was your meaning, glowing softly. Inhale that warmth. Exhale any isolation. This focus on relationships ties to Camus' broader philosophy. In The Rebel, he argues that true rebellion includes others. We don't just create meaning for ourselves, but for those around us. Our freedom to choose purpose extends to how we care for each other. This isn't abstract, it's tangible. Think of a moment you showed up for someone, listening to a friend, comforting a loved one, sharing a meal. That act was a rebellion, a way of crafting meaning in a silent universe. Let's visualize it. Imagine you're sharing a cup of tea with someone dear. The steam rises, their voice fills the air. This moment is enough, no cosmic truth required. Breathe in that sufficiency. Out goes any need for more. Some might wonder, what if relationships fail or fade? Camus would acknowledge the pain. His own life wasn't free of loss, but he'd say the answer lies in the act of connecting, not its permanence. Even fleeting bonds, a kind word from a stranger, a shared smile, carry meaning because you chose them. Picture a time you felt connected, even briefly. Maybe it was a laugh with a coworker, a nod from a passerby. That moment mattered. Inhale that memory. Exhale any fear of loss. Psychologically, relationships are a balm. Research shows that strong social bonds reduce stress, ground us in the present, and ease existential anxiety. Camus knew this intuitively. In The Stranger, Meursault finds fleeting meaning in human moments, a lover's touch, a friend's presence despite his detachment from grand narratives. Your connections do the same. Think of someone who makes you feel safe. Their presence is your anchor tonight. Breathe in that safety. Out goes restless worry. Let's try meditation. Adjust your position. Let your limbs relax. Imagine you're in a circle of people you care about, friends, family, even memories of those no longer here. Their faces glow in the firelight, their voices a soft hum. You don't need to prove anything to them or to the universe. Just be here, connected. Feel the warmth of their presence, like a blanket over your shoulders. This is your meaning, your truth. Inhale, exhale. What's one connection you'll nurture tomorrow? Let that thought settle, soothing you. Camus' relationships weren't perfect, but they were real. He wrote of love's intensity, friendships, loyalty, even the camaraderie of resistance fighters. In letters to a German friend, he speaks of choosing human solidarity over abstract ideals. Your own choices, calling a friend, hugging a loved one, are just as powerful. Inhale that power, out goes any sense of insignificance. Philosophically, this focus on relationships challenges traditional views that tie meaning to divine or cosmic orders. Camus aligns with existentialism's emphasis on human agency, but his absurdism adds warmth. Our bonds are meaningful because we make them so. In The Plague, characters find purpose in caring for each other, not in seeking divine answers. Your bonds, however small, are your rebellion. Think of a time you felt loved. That was enough. Breathe in that love. Out goes doubt. Some critique Camus for idealizing human connection, but he knew its fragility. Relationships don't erase the absurd, they defy it. Even imperfect bonds, a strained talk, a fleeting moment carry meaning if you choose to value them. Inhale that choice. Exhale any perfectionism. Let's settle into this moment, standing by a quiet sea, the sun warm on your skin, the air carrying a hint of salt. Take a deep breath in, hold it softly, and exhale, letting any tension dissolve like waves smoothing the shore. We're diving into Albert Camus' love for sensory experiences, the feel of the sun, the sound of the sea, the taste of a simple meal as a way to anchor meaning in a universe without absolute truth. These fleeting, tangible moments become our purpose, grounding us in the now. As you relax, let this idea wash over you, soothing and present. Camus believed that in a world without cosmic answers, sensory experiences offer a direct, vibrant way to find meaning. The absurd, that silence of the universe we've been exploring, doesn't demand grand explanations. Instead, it invites us to feel, to touch, to taste the world around us. Picture it, the cool water lapping at your feet, the warmth of sunlight on your face. These sensations don't need a divine purpose to matter, they're real, immediate, yours. Breathe that in now. In for 4 counts. Hold for 4, out for 4. Feel the air on your skin, the quiet around you. This is your truth tonight, simple and enough. In Camus' writings, especially Nuptials, he celebrates the sensory joys of his native Algeria, the Mediterranean sun, the sea's rhythm, the scent of jasmine. These weren't just pleasures. They were acts of defiance against the absurd ways to affirm life's value without needing a cosmic script. Imagine yourself now, walking along this shore, the sand soft underfoot, the waves whispering. Each sensation is a choice to be present, to find meaning in the moment. Let your shoulders soften as you visualize this, your breath slowing, your mind easing into the rhythm of the sea. Why does this matter to you as you rest in this calm moment? Because sensory experiences pull us out of restless thoughts, those spirals about life's purpose or the future, and into the present. Maybe you've lain awake, chasing big answers. Camus says, stop chasing. Feel the world instead. The warmth of your blanket, the sound of your breath, the scent of evening air, these are enough. They're your rebellion against the absurd, your way of saying, this moment is mine. Inhale that thought. Exhale any need for more. What's one sensation you love? A breeze, a song, a taste. Hold it in your mind. Let it ground you like the shore beneath your feet. Let's deepen this. Close your eyes if you can, and imagine yourself lying on a sun-warmed rock by the sea. The stone is smooth, the sun a gentle weight on your skin, the waves a steady lullaby. Camus found meaning in these moments, not because they answered life's big questions, but because they were vivid, real. In The Stranger, Mursault feels the sun's heat more intensely than societal rules, finding truth in sensation over abstract ideals. You can too. Feel your breath now, the rise and fall of your chest. This is your anchor, your purpose in this moment. Breathe in, out. Camus' life was steeped in sensory richness. Growing up in Algeria, he knew the sting of sand, the cool relief of the sea, the weight of summer heat. These weren't escapes. They were affirmations. In Nuptials, he writes of swimming in the Mediterranean, feeling alive in the water's embrace. Picture that now. You, diving into cool water, the world falling away as you move. Each stroke is a sensory act, a choice to live fully in the now. Let that image soothe you, your body relaxing, your mind quieting. Inhale that freedom. Exhale any restless worry. This focus on the senses ties to Camus' broader philosophy. Without absolute truth, we're free to find meaning in what's tangible: our bodies, our surroundings, our experiences. In the Myth of Sisyphus, he argues that living fully in the present is a form of revolt, a way to defy the universe's silence. You don't need a cosmic reason to enjoy a sunset or savor a meal. These acts are enough because you choose them. Let's try a visualization. Imagine you're eating a favorite food, maybe warm bread, fresh fruit, or chocolate melting on your tongue. Savor the taste, the texture. This is your meaning right now. Breathe in that joy. Out goes any pressure to seek bigger answers. Psychologically, sensory focus is grounding. Research shows that mindfulness, paying attention to the senses, reduces anxiety and centers us in the moment. Camus knew this intuitively. His characters, like Mursault, find meaning in sensory details: a breeze, a swim over abstract ideals. Think of a time you felt alive in a sensory moment. The crunch of leaves underfoot, the warmth of a hug, the sound of music. That was your rebellion, your purpose. Inhale that memory. Exhale any doubt. Let's try a meditation. Adjust your position. Let your limbs relax. Imagine you're sitting under a tree, the bark rough against your back, the air cool and scented with earth. Listen to the leaves rustling. Feel the ground beneath you. This moment is enough. No cosmic truth required. Breathe in, out. What's one sensation you'll notice tomorrow? A sound? A texture? Let that thought settle, soothing you like the sea's rhythm. Camus' sensory focus wasn't about hedonism. It was about presence. In The Plague, characters find meaning in small sensory acts: sharing a meal, feeling the night air amid suffering. Your own sensory moments, a warm shower, a favorite song, are just as powerful. Think of one now. Maybe it's the feel of soft sheets, the taste of morning coffee. That's your truth, glowing softly. Inhale that warmth. That out goes any need for grand answers. Some might argue that sensory pleasures are fleeting, not enough to build a life on. Camus would say that's the point. Their impermanence makes them precious. A sunset fades, but its beauty is yours in that moment. Picture a sunset now, colors bleeding across the sky. You don't need to own it forever, just witness it. Breathe in that fleeting beauty. Exhale any need to hold on. Philosophically, Camus' focus on the senses aligns with phenomenology, which prioritizes lived experience over abstract systems. The feel of sand, the sound of waves, these are more real than any divine plan. Feel that now. The air on your skin, the rhythm of your breath. This is your anchor. Inhale, out. Camus' life modeled this. He wrote of dancing under the stars, feeling the world's pulse in his body. Your own sensory moments, a walk, a touch, a scent, are just as valid. Inhale that validity. Exhale any sense of insignificance. Take a deep breath in, hold it softly, and exhale, letting any lingering tension drift away like petals on the breeze. We're diving into Albert Camus' call to embrace the present moment, to live fully in the now, without clinging to past regrets or future uncertainties. In a universe without absolute truth, This focus on the present becomes our anchor, our way to find peace and purpose. As we close our journey, let this idea cradle you, soothing and grounding, carrying you toward rest. Camus believed that living in the present is a powerful act of defiance against the absurd that silence of the universe we've explored. Without a cosmic script, there's no need to dwell on what was or worry about what might be. The now is enough. Picture it. You're standing in this meadow, the grass cool beneath your feet, the air soft with the scent of earth. The flower sways, existing only for this moment, not questioning its past or future. You can do the same. Breathe that in now. In for 4 counts. Hold for 4. Out for 4. Feel the present wrap around you, like a gentle hand guiding you to peace. In the Myth of Sisyphus, Camus argues that embracing the present is a way to revolt against the absurd. The universe may offer no ultimate answers, but this moment, your breath, the quiet around you, the beat of your heart is real, tangible, yours. It doesn't need divine validation to matter. Imagine yourself now, sitting in this meadow, the moonlight casting soft shadows. There's no rush, no pressure to solve life's mysteries. Just you, here, alive. Let your shoulders soften, your breath slow, as you sink into this now. Why does this matter to you as you rest in this calm space? Because the present is a refuge from the restless thoughts that keep us awake, regrets about yesterday, anxieties about tomorrow. Camus urges us to let them go. Maybe you've lain in bed, replaying a mistake, or worrying about what's next. Picture those thoughts now, like clouds drifting across the moon. They pass, but you remain rooted in this moment. Inhale that release. Exhale any need to hold on. What's one thing you feel right now, a sensation, a sound? Hold it gently, let it anchor you like the flower in the meadow. Let's deepen this. Close your eyes if you can, and imagine yourself lying on the grass, the earth solid beneath you, the stars above steady and silent. Camus, in his essays like Nuptials, found joy in these present moments, feeling the Mediterranean sun, hearing the sea's rhythm. He didn't need a cosmic reason to savor them. You don't either. Feel your breath now, the gentle rise and fall of your chest. This is your truth, your purpose in this moment. Breathe in, out. Let the past and future fade, leaving only the now. Camus' life embodied this presence. Growing up in Algeria, he knew hardship, poverty, loss, war, yet he found meaning in the immediate. A swim, a laugh, a story shared. As a resistance fighter, he acted not for eternal rewards, but for the present, for human lives, here and now. Picture him walking a dusty street, pausing to feel the sun's warmth, choosing to be fully in that moment. Your own moments, a quiet evening, a deep breath, are just as powerful. Inhale that power, exhale any restless thoughts. This focus on the present ties to Camus' broader philosophy. Without absolute truth, we're free to live in the now, unburdened by cosmic expectations. In The Stranger, Meursault lives this way, feeling the world's sensations, sun, sea, love more vividly than societal rules. His presence is his rebellion. You can rebel too, by choosing this moment. Think of a time you felt truly present, a walk, a conversation, a quiet pause. That was your meaning, glowing softly. Breathe in that memory. Out goes any pressure to chase bigger answers. Psychologically, living in the present is soothing. Research shows mindfulness, focusing on the now, reduces anxiety and stress, calming the mind. Camus knew this intuitively. His characters in The Plague find meaning in present acts, caring, resisting despite senseless suffering. Your own present moments, a breath, a sensation, are just as meaningful. Feel it now. Your breath is steady, your mind quieter. In, out. Let's try a meditation. Adjust your position, let your limbs relax. Imagine you're lying in this meadow, the grass cradling you, the stars above like a gentle blanket. Listen to the quiet, maybe a faint breeze, your own breath. This moment is enough, no cosmic truth required. Breathe in, out. What's one thing you'll notice in the present tomorrow? A sound, a feeling. Let that thought settle, lulling you toward rest. Some might say focusing on the present feels fleeting, not enough for a meaningful life. Camus would argue that's its strength. The now is precious because it's all we truly have. In The Rebel, he writes, "Real generosity toward the future lies in giving all to the present." Picture a single breath now, full and deep. It's fleeting, yet complete. Inhale that completeness. Exhale any need for permanence. Philosophically, Camus' focus aligns with phenomenology, prioritizing lived experience over abstract systems. The feel of grass, the sound of your breath, these are more real than any divine plan. Feel that now. The weight of your body, the rhythm of your breath. This is your anchor. Inhale, out. Camus' life modeled this presence. He wrote of dancing under the stars, feeling alive in the moment. Your own moments, a quiet sip of tea, a glance at the sky are just as valid. Inhale that validity. Out goes any sense of insignificance. As we close our journey, let's pause for a longer breath. In for 5, hold, out for 5. The present is your truth tonight, your way to find peace in a silent universe. What will you carry into this moment as you rest? Breathe in that question. Exhale with calm. Return to the meadow. The flower sways, the stars shine. You're here, fully alive in this now. For you, the present means resting. This moment, this breath is enough. Breathe in presence, out doubt. Music softens, fading to the sound of a gentle breeze. The screen darkens, leaving only the flower under moonlight. Good night.